Pionex Arbitrage Bots might not perform as well as you might think. But Pionex itself promises a return of 15 to 50% APR on the arbitrage bots. But is it really true? Can you really make 15 to 50%? Because I'm a little bit skeptical about all this stuff. I always tend to do my own tests. So this is exactly what I did. You can go over to Binance. You can actually download all the funding rate history on all the future contracts that are available. So you can download them from Bitcoin, Ethereum, any other futures contract that you want to test it on. So I downloaded the funding rate history on a few of the bigger cryptos like Bitcoin, Ethereum. Then I also wanted to look at the APR of a few altcoins like EOS, GMT, and AVAX, just to have a look at where the differences are and also what makes the difference, like which coins are the best to choose so I can make the most profit. So what we can see here is the first date where the funding occurred. So this is initially the first time that the contract was settled. So in this case, we're looking at Bitcoin, and the Bitcoin USDT futures contract on Binance was started on the 10th of October 2019. So since then, it has been 961 days, where the average funding rate is about 0.0179. The average daily profit is 0.0536. So this is just 3 times the average funding rate, because the average funding rate or the funding rate we are getting every 8 hours. So the daily profit would just be triple the average funding rate. If we started the arbitrage bot on the 10th, 9th, 2019, up until now, we would have made a total profit of 51.56%, which would result in an APR of 19.58%. So this is with a 1x leverage. Obviously, with a 2x or a 3x leverage, we could increase those amounts. With a 3x leverage, we could go all the way up to 29.36% APR if we used the historic data on Bitcoin. Since then, if you just bought Bitcoin and you hold it until now, it would have changed 429%. So this would have been your profit for buy and hold. With Ethereum, this looks a little bit different. So with Ethereum, you can see that our total profit over only 883 days was 67%. So the APR with a 1x leverage on Ethereum would result in 27.68%, whereas Bitcoin was only 19%. So the APR on Ethereum way higher. We add a leverage to that, we can increase this all the way up to 41.51%, whereas Bitcoin was only 29%. We can also observe that Ethereum did in fact change a lot more than Bitcoin. Bitcoin only changed 429, Ethereum changed 1,792% to the upside. So if you just bought Ethereum, you would also have made way more profit than using the arbitrage bot. So these were the 2 biggest cryptocurrencies. And then I wanted to have a look at cryptocurrencies where the price over the total time actually went down. So with Ethereum, the price went up 1,700, Bitcoin went up 429. Now with EOS, the price actually over the last 841 days went down 19%. And so I was wondering if this has any impact on the profit that you make. But in fact, we can see that with a 3x leverage, we would make even more profit than with Ethereum, even though EOS over the total time went down 19%. So the total profit that you make with an arbitrage bot doesn't correlate with the price changes of the underlying asset. So what I did was I then looked at new coins that were trading on Binance. So if you have a look at GMT on Binance, we can see that GMT hasn't been around for a very long time. It's only been around for about 3 weeks, and it's only gone up ever since then. So I downloaded the funding rate history of GMT, In fact, it changed 988%. And what you can now see is that the APR is negative 73%. And the total profit over the 45 days would result in minus 9% profit. So ultimately, you definitely don't want to trade coins where the price is only going up. Obviously, this will only happen if the coin is fairly new to the exchange. But you want to have cryptocurrencies that have been established for a longer period of time and then go up and down all the time. Last but not least, then also had a look at AVAX. AVAX is pretty similar to Ethereum or Bitcoin, so it went up 1,169%. We have an APR of 18%, so that's even lower than Bitcoin, but we could increase it to 27% APR with a 3x leverage. Now, the risk with using an increased leverage is that the bot will stop working sooner than if you use 1x leverage. So if you have a look at the Pionex platform and the arbitrage bots, if we were to create the bot with Bitcoin and we use a 1x leverage, the bot would stop as soon as Bitcoin hits about $75,000. That is because our short position would get deleveraged or would get liquidated. If we use a 2x leverage, our position would be liquidated at $56,000, and with a 3x leverage, it would be liquidated at a price of $49,000. So at around $50,000, our bot would stop working. Obviously, $50,000 could be reached very quickly. And in fact, if we compare it to $75,000, that's a 50% difference. So it will be closed a lot quicker. If we start the bot, we have a fee that we have to pay. And if we close the bot, there are also transaction fees that we have to pay and maybe slippage fees if we get liquidated. So you have to take that into account. But I'm pretty sure that even if you use 3x leverage and you account for all the fees that you have to pay if you get liquidated, you open the bot again, 3x leverage is still the best option that you can use. The only thing that you have to have in mind is once your position gets liquidated, you then need to create the bot again and you need to start it again from scratch.